Yo, welcome back, peeps. Welcome to day 15 of the 31 Days of Horror. Derek back with you again with another review. Kind of in this Asian horror kick that usually happens after I watch one Asian film after another. And what I got for you guys is actually a horror anthology from South Korea. It was put out by Artsploitation film. This is another Artsploitation release. And it goes by the title of Horror Stories. The main concept of this one that I really wanted to check it out because I'm a big fan of Asian cinema. It's actually directed by 6 directors, which I found really interesting and wanted to check out more Asian cinema, so I was happy when I got this in. But other than that, let's get into the main plots and synopsis of this anthology. Now the cool thing about this is it actually has a wraparound story that involves around this anthology. The anthology entrails 4 stories. Now the main wraparound story that this anthology enthralls in is it's about this girl who gets kidnapped by this psychopath. And the psychopath, he doesn't talk in the film, but he writes down that he can't sleep, and the only way that he can sleep is someone reads him scary stories. And then the girl says, what if you don't sleep? And the only other thing that he says that could put him to sleep is the taste of blood. That's why she's there, pretty much. She has to put him to sleep with her horror stories, or she's gonna get killed. It's the main plot of the wraparound, and it goes back and forth through arches in the film. Set up the stories that when they present themselves, which I really did enjoy. I love wraparound stories and anthologies. And this one was a pretty good one. And the actual stories, the first one is called Don't Answer the Door, which is kind of like a supernatural home invasion film. It involves a sister and a brother, and they're home alone. That's pretty much the gist of that one. They get terrorized. It's kind of like a melodic story, in my opinion. It has supernatural influences on it. I'm not gonna really get into these because I do recommend these. I'm just gonna give you a quick what's going on in the stories. The second story is called Endless Flight, which is an okay story. It's one of my favorites of the anthology. It's pretty much it's about a airplane flight, and they're transporting a serial killer on a plane. And you know how these sometimes end up, it doesn't go well. And it's just the 2 stewardess, the pilots, and the 2 cops, and the serial killer, and the plane, there's no one else. So it's a quick watch, because it's gonna be it's contained horror because it's on a plane, and it's really interesting. I really did enjoy that story for what it was. The third story is actually my favorite one. It involved what's it called? The Secret Recipe one. That one was really good. It was about these 2 stepsisters that are trying to compete against each other, and for this guy's hand in marriage. One of the stepsisters, she gets plastic surgery all the time. Like when you first introduced her, she has her nose bandaged up and her chin, and it's just a weird competition with them. And I really did enjoy this one. It had a great twist to it at the end too, which I really did enjoy. It was a really interesting story. It's probably my favorite out of all 4. And the last story that they tell is Ambulance on the Death Zone, which is pretty much a zombie film, but I like the setting of this one because it takes all in the place of like in or surrounding like areas of the ambulance heading to like the safe zone. They're in the infected area of, and they're trying to reach, and the characters are. It's kind of like I said in my previous review, like the characters were going back and forth at each other, kind of going crazy and during the situations and stuff. So they like turn on each other and stuff, which I really did enjoy. This was an interesting like take on zombie films, especially Asian ones. I did enjoy it. Now my main thoughts on the whole anthology as a whole. Pretty solid anthology. It was really like, because I actually jumped a few times in this film, which doesn't really happen a lot in films for me anymore, because I'm so used to like watching these, you know what I mean? So, but I did jump like maybe like 2 or 3 times during watching this. The acting is really well done in this, on all the shorts and the wraparound story. The main like girl that's in the wraparound story, she's really good in this film, and all the other actors involved in the shorts and stories are really well acted, and I just like how like there's some awesome like camera shots, and like especially the zombie one that has some actually really cool like camera effects that go towards that one. And yeah, there's some like good like camera work, acting, editing. The editing's crisp in this film. Like when they edit the scenes from the wraparound story to the actual stories, it's really well done. So if I had to give a rating to horror stories as a whole, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. That's how much I highly enjoy this anthology. Artsploitation has put out some good stuff this past few years, and this is one of them. I highly recommend you check it out, especially if you love Asian cinema or horror anthologies for that matter. 8.5 out of 10 for horror stories. Awesome flick. Alright guys, that's all I got for day 15. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to review. So, I'll see you then. Peace out.